everybody. I want to do a video today about the difference between up dog and Cobra. Now, I realize there's probably different schools of thought. Everybody might teach a little differently, but probably targeting a little bit more of the beginner and how to access this somewhat of a back bend in the vinyasa sequence of any flow class. And doing it safely with rhythm and how to modify it, but keep the body moving and the spine limber in the ways that we want. So one of the things that I feel like I noticed over the years of teaching is if we actually slow down and look at these two different poses, they're very different. They're similar in a lot of ways, but they're also really different. And I don't want to say that Cobra's for beginners and up dogs for more advanced people, because even in my own practice, when I'm really tight or sore, if I'm practicing and it's cold or I'm working on an injury, I modify this. And so what I love to see people do more is have the freedom to work, starting especially in the sun salutations, like starting with Cobras, really engaging the upper back, the bandhas, like really getting connected to it, and just slowly, gradually moving into the upward dogs. And again, that's not just specifically for beginners or advanced people, but or however we label that. But sometimes as a practitioner, we've been doing it, so we just like jump back and do an up dog. We may not really think about the details of it. So I'll break down physically just a few things that I feel like might help you. And the first thing is to again, start with the Cobras. Like, don't rush into up dogs. Like, give your spine, especially your low back, a little bit of time to warm up. And that's what the sun salutations or beginning vinyasa is about, is the warm up. So the thing that I probably would stress the most is, again, I'll preface, it's my personal preference and my concept of it, is that in up dog, I feel like there's a lot more extension and press and strength and engagement, and the energy is moving from the hands upward, and so I'm trying to create space away from the floor. Whereas for me in Cobra, I'm pulling myself away from the floor, but I'm more working on engagement, and I'll show you what I mean. So just basic, like if I came from a chaturanga or a modified lowering, the next step, I still want to engage my legs, so my feet are down, my knees are up. I still want to engage my hands, but what I see a lot of people do is, even in Cobra, is pushing all the way up, but their hips are relaxed, their legs are kind of relaxed, and that's their up dog or Cobra, I'm not sure. So what I would focus on is lengthening the legs, lifting and squeezing. So there's some lift, but my purpose is not to jam and push, and more to engage and get light. So Uddiyana Bandha, or the belly pulling up, hands are still connected, feet are connected, but the upper back, mid and low back are all engaged and working. And I would release. Okay, so then I come up and back. And so the difference, in the up dog is technically my points of contact should be just my hands and my feet, and everything else in between is actually elevated. So it's a much different posture. It's a kind of a bigger pose. So from chaturanga coming down, I never touch. I just roll, scooch a little, and then lift. But I'm really engaged to make that happen. So just a couple tips, and maybe anything like food for thought is, I think like the practice is designed for us to play with and do the research with, and to not just jam the body in these positions because that's what's being called out, or even the speed or tempo of it. If our bodies feel like we need to slow down a little, maybe slow down and take your time progressing into something like that. I feel like there's this hybrid pose that has evolved from somewhere between Cobra and up dog, and I'm not really sure what it is, but I'm not really sure it's helping anybody. It's a lot of compression in the low back when you press the arms up, but the legs are totally relaxed. So check it out. All of this stuff is open for interpretation, and it's just something I see a ton and we work on all the time, and I would love for people to just explore it a little differently. So thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Later.